1.
The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Puff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh. Got my hustle on, no imitation of that. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heart throb in my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too feeble and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty. Shake!
Earnestly Speaking podcast coming to you Sunday, January 26, 2025. It is actually today the 5-year anniversary of Kobe Bryant's passing. Here joining by my brother, my father. Once again, it's been about a couple months we did the pod together, and one's outside. Wait, Eric, what you doing? Walking outside?
Yeah, I'm doing my getting my steps in.
Good, man. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Daddy. How you doing?
Good, very good, thank you.
Yes. We got a lot to talk about today in the pod. We haven't checked in since October, I think. So that's when we did the podcast together.
Yeah, pre-election.
Pre-election. Want to call that? Oh well. We want to go first on this one.
Trade Jimmy Butler.
You want to go spin the wheel? Trump, Jimmy Butler, Kobe Bryant, NBA in general. I mean, today is also.
Let's go with Butler because
true. Now, mind you, and granted, you guys aren't like big NFL guys like I am, but today is also Championship Sunday. We're going to find out in a couple hours who's going to the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, that's true.
Eric isn't watching. He's like, oh, that's true. I didn't know that.
I only watch I watched the game. I watched the Baltimore game because Lamar Jackson's playing, but that's about it.
Of course, and I'm kind of pissed that he's gone. So
I'm a player-oriented NFL fan.
I won't lie. I'm kind of the same way outside the Giants and Dolphins, of course. But I do like players. I root for players.
That's depressing.
Huh?
That's depressing.
What?
To like the Giants.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What, Dad?
I'm not if you guys are going in and out.
I don't know what's wrong with you.
Frozen.
You're frozen. You're frozen. Like Madonna. You're frozen. He wants to go Jimmy first. Well, let's go Jimmy first. So, as of this recording, he has not been traded yet. I just saw a report.
You're frozen.
There you are, Daddy. There you are, Dad. I see you now. I see you, Dad.
I hear you, Dad.
3 minutes and 26 seconds on the podcast.
Oh, you're way behind us. We're 4 minutes and 3 seconds right now, bud. All right. He'll get caught up. He's buffering on his end. That's why. He'll get caught up.
Yeah. Turn your Wi-Fi on, Dad.
Yeah. Pay the bill. So the last report I saw this morning that the Heat are still waiting to get the best offer for Jimmy Butler. As of this morning, he is going to be supposed to be dressed for tomorrow night's game. I know he got to spend it again. 2 games. This thing is. I never ever thought this would have gotten as ugly as it has in the last couple months, but it has. I'm kind of stunned it gotten this ugly.
Guys,
I mean,
yeah.
I wasn't in for like a minute and a half.
Other team.
Wait, Dad, go ahead. What, Dad? Go ahead. What now?
Did y'all realize that I wasn't in for about 2 minutes or so?
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
yeah, you're a little frozen, but we can hear you. Dad.
You're fine now.
You're fine what happened?
No, so I was saying to Eric that I'm stunned that the Jimmy Butler Miami Heat saga has gotten as ugly as it has. I thought, okay, fine, let's get traded, we get that, but now they're bringing out receipts from like 2-3 years ago, and how during the finals 2 years ago that he wasn't with the team and all this. I'm surprised it's gotten as ugly as it has.
Look, all that is irrelevant. Jimmy's being Jimmy.
Sick?
Go back to
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
But
Right.
no, but didn't his father pass away, and that's why they said that he was taking separate flights. They even talked about that, I think, on the Netflix documentary.
Yeah, of
So I
course.
mean, that's that is what it is. I don't know.
I don't think
if
that's a
that's the
big
Heat
deal.
exactly saying that. I don't think that's.
I don't
but-
think that's a big.
That's
But
the
it's
media bringing up.
but it's being used against him now, though. In these.
Yeah, but I think that's the media bringing up stories.
Okay.
I don't think it's the Heat
but
saying this is why we.
But somebody's leaking it out, though. Somebody's leaking it out.
I don't think it's that much of a leak. They talked about that on Netflix, that he was going back and forth because it was his dad.
But they're making it sound like
I
in the media that as though that he was purposely taking time away from the team because X, Y, and Z.
I think, yeah, he's purposely taking time because his father was sick. Like, what are you going to do? And I think he had a kid during that time too. Like, I don't think that's Heat leaking that. That's
But those are not. That's not the issue right now, fellas.
What is
This
it, Daddy?
True. This is true.
It's not the issue.
What is the issue, Daddy?
The issue is the present time.
If you go back to his history,
yeah,
you will see that he have had this type of situation with other teams. Okay, so I think enough is enough. Heat culture doesn't really, that's not who we are. It's time to move on. Forget about Jimmy's being Jimmy.
Oh no.
No, not that easy.
Mm-hmm.
You there?
Ernest is frozen on my end.
Right.
He's not frozen up. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Well, sort of. I think it's me. I think it's on my end now. I think it's on my end.
Y'all want to start over?
I'm getting one bar now on my Wi-Fi.
Because we're having a Wi-Fi problem.
Hold on a second.
I don't know how the end result was going to look. Is there any way to...
You guys hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Is there any way we can start over?
We can just edit this part out. It's fine.
Oh, okay. Got you. True that.
Okay. It's on my end. I think it's on my end.
Yeah, because
you guys all right?
My connection's fine.
Yeah, yours is fine. I think it's me this time.
When we figure out the problem and start over. When we figure out the problem.
We don't need to start over. We can just edit it.
Okay, let me. I can pause it also too. No, we're good now. We're good. All right, it's good now. Let's go caught up now. All right, so no, this is Jimmy. Yes. However, Jimmy kept me Jimmy at 36 years old trying to get a contract when his game again. To me, it's more about it's a basketball decision for me. Like, if this is Kevin Durant, I have no problem giving $6 million a year. You know why? Kevin Durant's game at 36 years old ages very well. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's still perimeter based. You know, he's one of the best shooters in the league. So it would make sense to pay that guy $50 million a year still. You know, but Jimmy is a descending player, wanting more money, wanting max money on a team that, number one, for starters, he barely plays as is, number one. And number two, even when he's there, they're what?
They're still middle of the road.
5 or 6 seed, the middle of the road. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what are you providing to the team? And then you're going to stranglehold the franchise for what? I can get the same results, almost same results, paying you way less money or not pay you at all. You know,
look, selfishly, I would trade him for whatever, send him to Washington and call it a day and just get an expiring contract back and be done.
He said
let the young boys cook.
Yeah, he said himself, I'll play anywhere else but Miami. Okay, you the fuck want to find out?
Send him anywhere else but Miami. But I want to send this is me being petty, but I would rather just send him to a team that has no shot, make him pick up that option. I don't know. I mean, maybe Phoenix is going to give him a long-term contract. Fine, let him go. I just don't want to deal with it this season. I'd rather let the young guys develop. There's no point.
So if you go to Phoenix, we get Beal. Is that it?
Well, we're trying to avoid that situation because the problem is less about Beal and more about Beal.
Can't sign him though in the offseason.
Can't sign who?
They wouldn't be able to sign Jimmy.
Yeah, they said they will. They said they're going to win once.
Wait, with Beal being there? No.
Beal has to be on the move.
But that's what I'm saying. Me personally, just because I'm petty, I would just send Jimmy wherever, let him exercise his option or not, and let's move forward. Let's get the cap space for this summer, and let's move forward. Because
That's
Jimmy,
one of the best
it's
deals.
irreparable at this point in time. And I don't want Beal.
Well,
We're going to be in the same place.
It's less about Beal and more about wanting Beal's no trade clause.
Right.
But Beal would be stupid to give that up. He's not going to give that up.
Of course he's not going to give that up. That's the $1 million.
And Miami would be stupid to receive that. So that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not being confident with Beal for.
I mean, the very reason.
Beal, can you see Beal in Miami replacing Jimmy?
No, at this point, no. I mean, right? But this
will he make the team better?
No, not anymore because Tyler Hero made the jump this year.
And this
Tyler Hero is going to be the guy going forward.
Tyler Hero made the jump we all want him to make.
We got Bam. I think the rookie's coming along well.
Ware's playing very well too. Ware's playing very well.
And then you have Hawkins that still has room to develop. Like,
yeah,
let's just move forward. And we got the opportunity to draft pretty high up these last couple of years with Jimmy there. Think about it like that, right?
Yeah, sure. That's a good point.
He either wasn't playing or, he was playing, but it was, he was either in and out or it was just, we didn't have good cohesiveness. Yes, we made some runs. The last run, that's a statistical anomaly. Like, we were hitting at our threes at a rate that was never seen before in the likes of, Heat history. And then we regressed.
It was not sustainable.
We went back to average. So I'm not putting too much weight. Thankful what Jimmy did, but like I'm not giving you $55 million.
No,
or I think he wanted what 113 over additional 2 years.
3 years. He wants 3 years.
He wants
2 more years on top of the opt-out year.
Yeah, I'm not giving you that. You're already going down, as you said. If it's Durant can consistently shoot the three as an efficient scorer. Jimmy's not.
They're saying that in order to make this deal for Jimmy, you may have to have up to 5 teams.
Yeah.
But for what?
So
for us to get what back?
Don't know. Are we in a strong negotiating position?
Not
Jimmy
really.
doesn't seem. Not many
really,
teams want to pay Jimmy that kind of money.
Jimmy might be as petty as I am and just pick up his option.
And he said he won't. He said he won't do that. He said he won't do that.
His open market value is nowhere near his option. His open market value is at this point
probably the 40s,
probably 10 to 15%, maybe 20% over what his 1 year option is worth.
I love when Eric goes to numbers. Eric gets all nerdified.
But think about it. He's probably $30 million $30 million a year over the next 2 years.
I've been saying that.
That's probably his market. His option is what, 51?
Yeah,
it's a big difference.
52.
51.
There you go.
Yeah. I would even say, okay, give him 50 the first year, and then the second year, like 30 or 35. So 2 years.
I
2 years.
Don't
2 years
know if you're allowed to do
45.
that though. I think there's a rule in the CBA where you can't just do that. It has to be if you de-escalate the contract, it has to be a certain percentage. You can do that. There's a rule that I think.
Sense. It's
I think
in particular when you're looking at key players who are in decline. So who's winning there? The players are not necessarily the team.
Well, I mean,
not many.
It's a players'
not
league.
many players.
It's a players' league. I think the spirit of that was, you would give the contracts to the Kobes, and those type of guys, not to aging superstars who are inefficient and are hurt all the time. It just makes no sense.
That's a good point.
For the Heat to have
it.
Yeah,
that's only reserved for
That's reserved 1%. For the LeBron.
Well, yeah.
There are only 3 guys in this league that are worth that kind of money at their age tier right now, and it's LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Durant. That is it. That is it. Yeah. And Jimmy Butler's not even in that conversation. So I don't know what we're doing here. At this point, I'm kind of with Eric to also be petty, just trade him away, just for the sake of lack of headache. But you gotta find a way to get something back for him. I mean, the good thing is that next year, Eric is gone real quick. I'll get back in a second. the good thing is that if he and he said he won't do this. Like he says he's gonna opt out. That he said that I do think that if he were to opt in, he now becomes a triple contract because now it's an expiring deal somewhere else, and because it's more attractive next year to do it. But the problem is, do teams want the headache?
Do teams want the headache?
We
and I think
we need to get rid of him now, no matter what. No matter what.
It stymies the development of our younger guys too.
It is.
Exactly. And then
other than Jimmy, who's
mentally and physically.
Yeah.
It's a way on the team. There's no way that the team can be successful with that type of cancer just looming over. There's no way.
And just the general inconsistency if we're saying, oh, we have to play him, and then we're gonna suspend him because he's gonna play half-assed. There's no point. He's shown he's shown who he is. And the difference between what he did and maybe he did do it and there were just no stories about it, but he is visibly playing like crap.
Like
that's the worst part too. Also,
he's given 50%. So it's
yes, agreed.
What's the point? He's killing
that's like
his
throwing
own
away games. That's like throwing. That's like
he's
gambling.
killing his own market value.
Exactly, but that's to tell you that's Jimmy, guys. Jimmy is good for a few years on the team, and he has obviously good skills. But the longevity of it, he always look what happened in Philly. Look what happened in Minnesota. What happened in Chicago?
Well, no, Philly was stupid not to resign.
Well, Philly.
Where Miami messed up.
And by the way, Philly,
that they weren't aggressive enough in getting players to come here.
But I'll tell you what. Here's what Philly messed up. Let's go back. Jimmy would be the perfect fit for Philly.
Perfect.
Now they can't afford him though.
Well, can you imagine?
I mean, Philadelphia in itself is a disaster. That
they can afford it. They pay the luxury tax.
Yeah, but the luxury tax now is it's astounding how much money you got to pay for that now because
remember they got apron, on Max. Maxi's there on the max, and they got
Maxi. Paul George is playing close to max, and Embiid is playing close to max. And that's by the way, Philadelphia. That's another disaster. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they might as well just play the younger guys and wait until next year.
The thing is though,
get everyone healthy.
Well, yes and no. I agree with you to the extent about that. The problem is though, Embiid is 30 years old. They have to. But
if you get him healthy for a whole season from the beginning of a season,
but you're not going to. Daddy, you're not going to this point now. You're not going to. So you're betting on the fact that
that's a possibility.
They can't. Look, put it this way: they can't even punt on this season. You know why? Because even if they're hanging around the play-in, if Embiid's healthy in April, you got to push. You got to try win a title with this core now. Because this core is year to year. Because Embiid's body ain't holding up. He's 30 years old, and unless you want to trade, your option is to go all in with this roster, which actually, for the record, when healthy, it's good enough to compete.
It's a good roster. On paper, it should be a good roster.
Right. This is one thing. Get that roster healthy for next year. It's not going to happen this year.
But you can't. The problem is you can't waste more Embiid years. They have to maximize every year possible now, including this one.
I understand that, but already he's injured. He needs time to heal. If you rush him back, they're not going to make the playoffs. And if they do make the play-in, and he's not healthy, they're not going anywhere.
So right now they're a game back of the play-in, a game back. So I would say unless you guys are confident Chicago holds on,
I'd say tank the rest of the season and try and get the highest draft pick this summer that you can.
Maybe
or do they owe that to somebody?
I don't know. Who knows?
I say get those guys healthy, man. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, but again, the problem with that though, again, if this is like 2-3 years ago, I would say go do that. Joel Embiid is year to year now. There's no telling you're going to get this Embiid back next year. He could be worse.
He could
be. Or you just trade him.
But who's going to take that risk on? Probably the perfect place to trade him is Miami. But because we're known to do stupid contracts like that. But he's a liability. And honestly, I don't want Joel Embiid. Personally.
Oh no. Now you're not for me.
I like our athletic team. I think we're running and gunning. Joel Embiid is, yes, when he's not hurt, which is rarely, he's a great talent, but he's always hurt. He has a long-term issue with his knee.
I think we
It is what it
knew.
is.
Yeah.
A lot of people would say this is why they didn't want him to play in the Olympics. This is not a
Yeah.
surprise.
Yeah,
Somebody said that.
They did.
Same
Let's,
with
let's
Kawhi.
talk about that for a second. So
Yeah.
that was whoever made that call wasn't a good call.
Well,
Right.
I think it was.
Again, he haven't had time to rest. If you get him healthy for a full season, at the Embiid of last year, the year before, they they could make a run for it.
Dad.
So I
We
don't
saw-
think to spend all that money is to give up on it, but be
Dad.
patient with it one more year.
The
Dad,
problem
even
with him
this
is
year,
also his diet and his weight. So you shut him down
Well, yeah.
for. But he's just not a disciplined player. Like I think
I'm not saying that to shut him down
many
totally.
reports
Just make sure that he is 100% healthy. I'm not saying. Look,
I just don't think. I just
don't
don't
think
think
he'll
you're going to
ever
get that at this point now. I think
Here's what I'm going to say to you.
You're wishful thinking there.
Well, maybe I am. All right. But how is Paul George playing? He's in and out too of the lineup. Maxey is the only consistent one, and he was even injured as well.
I question that Paul George will anyway. Certainly at the price marker too. Also,
so let me ask you.
the Clippers.
Let me ask you. What about Butler for George?
No. Well, no, because now you're adding 3 more years to that contract.
You got
he just signed a new contract,
right.
right. Good point.
Yeah. No, everything I look is more on the financial aspect of it. It's more so the fact that I don't want to be saddled with deals 2-3 years down the road with guys that are sunsetting right now.
But
Paul
I feel
George,
like this is a good segue though. Sorry, finish what you were saying.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say the segue kind of is, and this is what I've been looking at on and off. Who are the free agents coming up this summer, next summer, that makes sense for us just to say, all right, let's just get the Capitals back as the Heat.
That's the issue.
Who are we going after?
Problem.
There really isn't anybody.
No, there are no whales. Everybody's locked up now. So what you're betting on, if you're a Heat fan like us, what we're betting on is for I call it disgruntled whales. So does Giannis get frustrated in a year or so with Milwaukee? That can happen.
You can't plan on that though.
You can't, but it always happens every time though.
Yeah,
we always say that, but it always happens.
Right. That's if they don't go far this year.
Right.
And right now they're playing pretty good.
Okay, but I do think also too that we're in an era now. I think we need to look into the reality of this. And Miami, to their credit, has been way ahead of the curve on this one. Get into the habit now of player development. Now, player development is where it's going to be at because the salaries now, the way the structure is now with the salary cap, is making it impossible to just buy a star.
Yeah,
teams are locking up their guys now. So you're relying on hopefully getting guys that are disgruntled, like the way we got Shaq, the way we got LeBron, the way we got Jimmy. We've never outside Dwayne Wade ever had a homegrown guy. To be honest with you,
right.
Bam's the second one. Really, you think about it.
Bam's the second one, but Hero keeps going the way he is. That next contract, when does it come up? Like 27?
27. He has a couple years.
His extension is going to be. Well, he didn't make All-Star team,
right,
this year.
But he's still pretty young though. He's still pretty young though.
I don't see Heroes being that guy. Totally.
But his numbers are going to command something else. Like he's going to 50, 55.
Major Hero fan, but the defense, he's a liability still. Until he gets stronger and plays defense, he's just a very good player who's a very good offensive player.
But what we're bringing in, we can say, look, if he can call it a poor man Steph Curry, the way that he's playing right now. Steph wasn't great at defense either. But he can shoot lights out, and Hero's been shooting lights out. He's even said, I think, like he's trying to model his game for Steph Curry's.
Really?
In terms of its movement. And look, what's he averaged? 25, 5 or 6 and 4 this year?
Amazing. Incredible.
It's pretty good numbers. We bring in some defensive stalwarts. We need someone on the defensive and on the perimeter side. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I don't feel that bad about it. But we need to. I mean, we got Duncan coming off in what, a year or two. That's a tradable contract, which I wouldn't mind seeing if we can do something with that.
Yeah.
Just for some more defense.
About 20, 25?
26, 27, I think his contract's up.
26. We got to invest
in terms of amount.
No, 22
He's
maybe.
22, 23. Yeah.
They're 20 plus. They're 20 plus. Because his was escalating actually every year.
Yeah.
No.
But that's a valuable contract. You could probably flip to somebody who needs a specialist, doesn't care about defense. He's a poor man's Kyle Korver, call it at this point. And
he's a better ball handler.
Better ball handler than Kyle Korver. But Kyle Korver.
Yeah, Kyle Korver. That's a name. Blast from the past. I like that.
He was consistent anywhere he went.
JJ Redick.
Would you take a chance on Zion? Yeah. Let me ask you guys a question. Would you take a chance on Zion?
Nope.
Oh, absolutely.
That was every star man. That is every star manageable. I'll take that star. Bring him here.
When someone shows you who they are, believe.
I believe in our organization. I believe that we could be a therapy for a player like Zion. One, to make him value nutrition. Two, to take care of his physical. So we can do that. We've noted to do that.
Contract is what it is. He also had a problem with porn stars. You want to bring him to the porn star capital of the United States?
Hey, what can I tell you? What can I tell you? Look, I still believe in Heat culture, guys.
You can't
as a young organization, relatively.
I don't. But that's the thing. I think our organization, as it was before, was also in a different era where teams had more control. Like, it's a players' league right now. These players are making
might be going back. We might be going
more
back to
money a year, maybe. But I don't. I mean, there's a small chance that it does. I don't think so. Players
here's why I think that is going to happen though. With the ratings where they are now, especially people are starting. It's starting to become more obvious that the product itself is not the best presentation, and it goes beyond just contracts now. Now it's the aesthetics of the game now. People, even people who are hardcore like myself are starting to notice, like, yeah, look, I love 3-point shooting, but I don't want 56 3-point shots a game. That's egregious.
Yeah,
and
Boston so like 30.
Boston's the only good team in the top 5 of that. Everybody else is a bad team. The Charlottes of the world, everybody else. They're the only anomaly of a good team that's in the top 5 of most attempts a game. So is that a great model to follow?
I don't see any major changes that they can,
allow physical play.
They can really solve that problem.
Physical play. You allow physical play. Allow hand checking in.
Well,
yes. What's the reason they give the ratings are down this year?
Well, to me, look. So I do think there's something to be said that sometimes the people who are crying about ratings being low, especially, it's more on a racial point of view. Folks who don't watch the NBA. Oh, look, the NBA sucks now. Blah, 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 blah. No, we got a lot going on this year. We had, football. Listen, between October and January, football owns that lane. It is what it is. Football is an event sport. I'm invested. You know what I'm saying? We also had an election year, so people invested in that. I want to see the ratings in February and March, and then start the playoffs. If they don't tick up, then I'm worried. So I don't worry about October, November, December, because you have to see that lane to the NFL and college football.
Yeah. You even got a little bit of baseball there in October as well.
No, not only that, you got Yankees Dodgers World Series. On top of that.
True.
Yeah, the teams playing in there.
Yeah. Tell me something. Let me know if I'm just thinking of this the wrong way, but do you feel like it's harder to watch NBA basketball now, like just physically?
Yes.
Because of like how many services and how many different channels it's on. Like when it was on, call it ESPN and TNT, and that's when you're watching a majority of the games. That's why I feel like I can just turn it on. Now it's like, do I need to get this service just to subscribe here, or do I need to get on Max to watch this, and like you'll have no other access to games? That's where I think some of the viewership also might be going down. I might be wrong. I don't have any data to back this up, but I feel like it's just harder
it's a good point, though,
to find games to watch.
It's a good point, because and then you have to look at the fact that there's so many other options. So it's diluting, to your point, that focus platform. Now you can get that on I mean, on your cell phone,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something to that.
on some third party something.
There's something to that. Definitely diluting. I definitely see the argument for that. For me,
No,
like,
remember you just still have NBA TV.
yeah, yeah. I mean, but that applies to. But to be honest with you, what Eric said though, that actually applies to everything across the board, not just with
Yes,
basketball. That's everything.
that's
Football.
yeah.
See, football works because football is a week to week sport.
But football even went to prime. Thursdays on prime now. If you
right,
don't have a prime,
but even that though, it's still spread out enough to where football is always going to win because it's an event sport. There's like 5 games of the same team in the same week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or 4 games rather. You know, football's week to week. Now, granted, yeah, you have a Thursday game here, Sunday night here, maybe a random Friday here, on Monday, but overall, you're gonna have it's still week to week, so it's easy. It's a lot easier to follow. To do content on football, it's so much easier to do because it's so structured in that way where you have the weekend football, your team plays, boom, and then you go for 6 days, and then you can cover that you cover the week that was and the week coming up. Whereas basketball is so constant, so is baseball, so is hockey, so it's different. So football is always going to win because it's an event sport, and every game matters because 17 games. Even though they've added more, 17 games, and every game. And I'm sorry, every game matters for every. So 17 games for the NFL, 82 in the NBA. So for every 10 games maybe or 7 games in the NBA matter ratio. The NFL 1 game, it matters more.
Yeah, no, they definitely do. I just find it hard to even find games sometimes. Like Max has it, but I got to be subscribed to Max.
Well, if you have League Pass, it's a different story. If you have League Pass, it's not.
Well, yeah, League Pass is a different thing, but just like generally, I feel like you can the days of even prior to League Pass, like where it's just like the games are on TNT, ESPN, and like maybe just NBA TV, and that's the only place you can find to watch NBA games.
Just call it. You're getting old.
I like it better that way.
You're getting old.
Maybe that's just the old man.
No. That's exactly what it is, though, Eric. You saying that? No, you say it in jest. There's truth to that, though.
Yeah.
Because at some point, it's like, okay, we're so bombarded with content across the board, not just basketball. There's everything, Netflix, you name it. All these shows that come out, like, oh, this show's out now this show's out, and it's so
on what
overwhelming.
platform?
Exactly, they got to find a platform to on top of that. It's overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I get it. Football is still the one thing that's simple. And granted, they've tweaked it where, like, yeah, they'll have a Thursday game or whatever, but it's still organized enough to follow.
Yeah. But you're right on this. It's across the board, not only sports and other areas of entertainment too.
Yeah.
From the Apple TVs to the Amazons to you name it.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
It's not good or bad. It's just the way it's just adjusting. I mean, Eric, you and I are kids of the '80s, so we have a kind of a perspective of network TV and cable. At least cable. Dude, cable TV. Remember back when we were growing up, cable TV was a big deal. Cable TV.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No one gives a fuck about cable TV anymore. Cable. We're trying to get rid of it now. No one cares.
Yeah.
You know. So. I mean, we've come a long way. I think also too, and this also writes to just what societies in general. We've advanced so much technology wise in the last 15, 20 years that even myself, who was pretty with it for the most part, I'm still catching up on things.
Yeah,
well, you gotta stay relevant because we're about to take another leap into AI.
That shit is scary, man. That thing is scary. That is scary. The AI stuff is really scary, especially if you're a creator
on the
too.
scary part, but there's a lot of good to it too. So it's a balance, like everything else.
No, right. But the thing is, you have people who can use that for really bad stuff.
We have people who's doing that right now with other stuff. We've always have the tyrants throughout, and I get it. Don't think I'm being naive to that.
Right.
Because I'm very aware of the evils that can occur. But at the same time, we've always had the battle between. Here's what I would say: good will always overcome evil. All right, so even if there's inclinations to go in that direction, at the end of the day, rest assured that good will win out. So
you're what's the word I'm looking for now?
optimistic.
Optimistic, right? Thank you.
There,
Hey, we
You,
have choices.
I get it.
And
I love it.
I'm optimistic, but not naive. At the end
Right.
of the day, all I'm saying is that there's always been the uncertainties, the ups and downs, and the tyrants.
Mm-hmm.
No, we could have another show or two about right now. But look from a political or geopolitical standpoint. Look what's going on. Pay close attention.
Eric,
Yeah,
does AI scare you?
AI scares me just on the fraud aspect of things.
the
Yeah.
negative part of it. Yeah,
It's just getting to a
yeah.
point that it's, people believe videos that they see. I mean, these videos are realistic as hell. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
did you ever see the movie Wag the Dog with Robert De
I've
Niro
heard
and
of it.
Dustin Hoffman?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Long time ago. Yeah,
Yeah, it's like they basically created this, these scenes, to
political. Mm-hmm.
for political exposure and to lean in a political direction. And I think that that's just,
So
I don't
we
that's within the
wagging
realm
the
of,
dog.
like
We
you.
wagging
Yeah,
everything there is to wag right now is being wagged because that's
Yeah.
exactly what's going on. When you have all the tech executives,
Mm-hmm.
you know, in one camp, what do you
Yeah.
think is going on? When there's no fact checking, that is
No.
giving you open to lie constantly without any ramification. So
Some
it's a different ball game we're dealing with here.
it's
But
scary
again,
shit
you got
too.
to find a silver lining, guys. Don't focus on the negative. Just keeping it real to a sense. But there's gonna be opportunities. You always got to think that tomorrow's gonna be a better day. Don't put a mindset that is gloom and doom.
I agree.
Do
I fully agree
not,
with you.
definitely not doing.
do not.
I do.
Feed
I
your
totally.
mind with a lot of positive and create that environment.
Yeah.
And look at where AI is going in terms of what's the employment for tomorrow. And
Yeah.
figure out how not only you but your kids how they would
Without question.
align themselves.
I agree.
You know.
One more basketball thing. Today is Kobe Bryant's 5-year anniversary of his passing. You guys remember do you remember you guys were at when you found out
I was at work.
Mm.
on a Sunday?
Yeah, I was at work.
Wow. Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or I do remember a very very sad day.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It was like actually someone very 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 close to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you get that news. That's how it was for a long period of time, and to some extent, still, when I see his image, his face, and all that, it's kind of, yeah. That hurt like crazy, and he was doing so much at
That's
the
the thing.
time,
That part. Yes.
yeah,
and which could have had such great, not only for people, black and brown people, but for in general.
Yeah.
He was really a potential leader of men,
Yeah. Correct.
with his wisdom, his vision. I mean, great, 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 great person. Major
No.
respect for him.
No. I've always said that I was always more fascinated with him than Michael Jordan because I felt like his creative bank was a little more, I guess, more broader than Jordan's, where Jordan's is
Yes,
strictly a businessman. Kobe Bryant, I felt, even before he retired, I said this, that he had more to offer society outside of basketball. And he was doing so. He was
yeah.
doing
yes,
so.
yes.
And to me, I remember I was actually literally, funny enough, I think it was Christy that texted us asking what was going on. Because she
Mm.
put it on group chat, like, you hear about this helicopter accident. I'm like, what? And I was actually walking out Target with the boys, from shopping, and I was stunned. And then I spent 10 minutes, the last 10 minutes, texting all my friends who were either Laker fans or covered a team in LA and all that. And I was trying to find out that the news was true. And then, like, they heard about it as a crash. They couldn't confirm it was him or it was an entire family. At first, I remember hearing that it was an entire family. There was just him and Gianna, and then people on the helicopter with them too. Like, and I remember being stunned.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, stunned. I to me, it's still one of the most shocking. I would say, in terms of celebrity deaths, the most shocking one.
Yeah, yeah.
In the moment. Yeah.
I was
no doubt about it. I
one of the most shocking ones.
Yeah.
Well, believe it or not, this go back to when I was a kid, even with John F. Kennedy.
Yeah, so assassinating.
It's John Lennon was that hit me hard too.
In 1980.
That was a major John Lennon fan. Imagine would always be one of my probably top 3, definitely top 10.
Right.
Song. Yeah. Of all time. So that I could tell you exactly where I was for that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I at the end of the day, man, they're in our backyard, on our TVs, stereos. So they become part of us, part of the everyday.
Yeah. It was one of those moments.
Have you ever really listened to Imagine?
Of course I have. It's a phenomenal song.
When I was a kid, I had in my mind a vision of utopia. Imagine took me to that place.
John Lennon was definitely out there. I will say that. He was different.
Yes.
Him and Yoko was definitely different.
Yeah.
Like, I'm probably still a bigger Paul fan, like, creatively speaking, like, between the two guys of the Beatles. But, yeah. He definitely, I see why. Huh?
Ringo Starr made a name for himself.
Oh, yeah, all 4 of them did made a name for himself. George, too. Yeah. George also.
George Harrison. Have you looked at his bio recently, or have you? Mm-hmm. Great man.
Yeah.
Very deep brother.
No, I do say, though, the Beatles are overrated as hell, though. I will say.
Oh, my gosh. After what we just said about them, they're overrated.
The Beatles collective, I think. Oh, no. Overrated. No, wait. Overrated doesn't mean bad, though, Dad. Doesn't mean bad.
No, I get it, but give them their props.
Heralded more than probably should be. I
What's
said they're just heralded more than they probably should be.
Well, again, they benefited from the fact
an era of a certain celebrity.
Yeah. They were the instinct Backstreet Boys of.
But you got to remember too, also the Beatles didn't have a chance to fail because they broke up pretty much at the height of their fame or close to the height of their fame.
Yeah.
So a lot of artists don't have a chance to. They have a chance to have that bad record or bad 2 records or that little slump and they come back. You know what I'm saying? The Beatles never had that because they were together so short that by the time you get to 1970, they're done.
Yeah, they're by 72, I think 71.
No, 70. They were done 70.
70, yeah.
70, they were done. Yeah.
Oh, what a album! I mean, come on.
I mean, they put out.
Have you played their catalog recently?
I mean, do you see who I'm married to? I'm married to a hardcore Beatles fan. Of course, I know what they listen to.
Yeah, but
we have arguments in this house all the time about. Oh, look who's here! Hey, buddy.
See your daddy and your uncle in there? He's working. Oh, right. Oh, he's going for his ride.
Oh, okay, that's cool. No, they never have that dip. They had a chance to have that dip. That's why. But yeah, Lauren and I have fights about that all the time because I always tell her they're overrated and she gets mad at me for that. So whatever.
Overrated.
No. I always tell her I always say Queen's better than the Beatles.
I play some of the music for my mom now, and that takes her to the Beatles. Oh my!
As musicians,
that takes it to a good place.
Here's what I'll say: as musicians, though, Queen is way more talented as musicians than the Beatles are. It's not even close. It's not even close.
What the impact they had on society?
No, not impact. Impact.
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
No. The Beatles are the biggest music act in the history of music. That's not even a conversation. What I'm saying is that I'm talking about like actual musicians, though. Queen is much better. Like no one can sing better than Freddie Mercury in that band. No one's better guitar player than Brian May. No, not even close. Not even close. No, not even close. All right, one more thing. Want to talk Trump? We got out here.
No Trump.
Let's go, America.
I mean,
6 days in, buddy. Trump
it's going
2.0.
as it was described. I don't think anyone should be surprised with what's happening.
I'm going to say though. Did you guys watch his? He was in North Carolina yesterday or Friday rather, and then California right after that to assess the fires, assess the. I gotta be honest with you, but especially the stuff with California, I loved it. Him calling out Karen Bass and calling out the government there about what they're not doing and not getting and trying to get through the red tape and stuff. I loved it. I'm sorry. I thought it was great.
I hadn't seen the clips, but I mean, nothing. The only thing that made me chuckle a little bit, it's probably not that funny though, was when he, and I don't know, I didn't do a follow up on it to watch, but did he say that he wanted California to enact those laws for voter registration before he would release funding, or if he had it his way, he would do that? Those are two different things.
He did say two things: voter ID, which for the record, why is can I just say real quick? And I'm not. This is not a partisan thing here. Why is that even controversial? The fact that
I don't know.
If there's voter IDs, if there are states that don't have voter IDs laws, that's a problem. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Am I wrong here?
No, I get it, but look.
Careful, you're stepping on Dad's liberal train right now.
Yeah, I know.
I am not. I'm centrist to the bone.
Yes. Voter ID should be a thing, period.
But
I don't know why anything controversial.
At this point, we are where we are. And let's see, going forward, just hope and pray for the best for America, for all Americans. So I hope you do a good job for all Americans.
Absolutely.
Now, that being said, let's talk about the DEI situation.
Yeah,
I saw a piece yesterday or day before, and where I think it's gonna impact women in general, not necessarily black people or black women. The of course the LBGQ and it's gonna impact a whole lot of people. It's not directed at black people. To be honest, prior to that, that's how I felt, because I know how many government workers in the last 50, 60 years, post office and other places that are people of color. So I don't think the impact would be as much as I think. But when you look at it overall, the thing about Trump, you just can't take him at his word.
Yeah, he lost a lot of capital from me because of the lying he did beforehand. So even if I want to believe him, I have to be very side eye about the things he does first, And this is the hard part too. Also, is that we're so polarized as a society now with him that even if he does good stuff, we're so critical of that because we think what's the other shoe to drop here? You know what I mean?
But this is why I said I hope it's best for America.
Correct.
Me personally, I have to hope that he does a good job, whatever that may be. But we have to hold everyone accountable. But
what is the definition of a good job?
Well, that's to be seen.
What are your priorities? I guess is the first question. What are your
My
priorities? I guess
may be different to yours.
Right, exactly.
No,
right.
But that's
you're right.
What outcome would you say? Let's just say it happens that you would say that Trump did a good job.
Keep us out of a war, protect the borders, right, and keep the economy strong, and opportunities for every American. That's probably going to be number one.
Well, here's the thing though, and this is why the DI thing, I kind of I feel two ways about it too, also, because I do believe in merit first and foremost. How are we gonna know that merit? How are we gonna know this?
And who's managing the merit system?
Right.
So this is what I'm saying. It's sometimes it's covered in.
The only reason why I'm not as mad about the DI thing getting pulled back now is because, okay, cool, we're equal country now. We're a free country, right? Let's hope now, without having the DI thing as a back burner now, if it continues being that way, if the numbers bear out that even what the DEI rule, want to call that, and there's still people getting hired on merit, and people of color are still getting jobs, then we don't need it anymore. The only way going to really know if we're on equal footing is that we're not having those things in place.
My
I'm not
concern with
now.
that is, in theory, it sounds good.
Right
In practice is another thing. If they
now,
put people who would suppress because of gender, because of race,
right,
then it takes us
right.
way back.
I'm not saying that they should pull it. Well, I mean, they did, but don't we're going to know that things are on the up and up now is not having those things in place.
My other concern is
Yeah.
when there is civil unrest using the military.
Yeah.
And by using the military for the border, which I personally think is a good idea,
Mm-hmm.
but that kind of give way to other using it for other things. So that's another. I have loads of concerns, right? But just have to see how it goes.
I mean, I'm with him when it comes
Majority
to.
of the country vote him in.
So here's the thing. I'm with Trump when it comes to getting illegals, but especially illegals, criminal illegals out of this country,
Criminal, right?
without question. Anybody
Mhm.
that even tells you differently is, I'm sorry, you're playing partisan politics here. No, because you feel one way about that until it affects you, and then what?
Well,
So
I mean,
here's another part of my
but remember,
thinking as
by
well.
definition, illegals, whether they committed a crime in the U.S. or not, like a violent crime, let's just say,
Right.
if they're illegals, they're technically already committing a crime.
No, I'm talking
That's just
about violent crimes.
that's
Well,
my hot
violent
take.
crimes. Okay, to get specific, then violent crimes.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're prioritizing those people from what the media have reported
And
thus
they
far.
have been doing that, getting criminals out of this country.
Yeah,
We
I
don't.
think
We
as
don't
long as they don't do like retroactive, like people who are here on asylum or who like are awaiting, like they're already registered here, and as long as they
right.
don't say, well, if you came in by some illegal or you were kind of brought in under whatever rules, under the old administration, and now we're not respecting that, and we're rounding you up and leaving. That's, I think generally it might be fine, but that's yet to be seen. They could always, I won't be surprised if they were like, hey, anyone here over the last 5 years, and you're still awaiting a court date, you now
Right.
awaited over the border rather than,
Well,
in
that's
the U.S.
coming.
and work.
I think that's likely to happen. I think they said that already. People
What's that?
who are pending paperwork, that
Here,
program has stopped.
Yeah, I didn't hear
but
anything like that.
but this is what the media is coming to play here. Is the media covering this stuff fairly? Because if he's doing
Probably
the
not.
things he should be doing,
Now you have to define media now, so it's no longer CNN, Fox, and
that's what I'm
it's
saying.
what Joe Rogan is saying. Certain podcasts. What
Yeah.
they're talking about and
This
what
election
their
was
program is saying.
this election was a
Hmm.
referendum. This election was a referendum on the media. A referendum on
Yeah.
the media.
Oh yeah.
Across the board.
Hmm. What
Oh yeah.
CNN? You see what CNN is doing right now?
Yep.
They
Yep.
fired 200 people, and they're going more on a podcast type platform.
Yep. And enter my
Well,
world.
I think the last couple of years, well, maybe that did overlap with the election, but the last couple of years of things being exposed has been a referendum on the media,
Hmm.
on the traditional news media rather,
Yeah.
Hmm.
because it's it's the information flow, and now that's
Yep.
been a little bit more, call it democratized or
Yeah.
diluted. Now everyone can have an opinion, but also everyone can have a fact.
I also
Depends
have
on
a major problem with the defense
standard.
secretary that they just hired or
Oh,
approved.
Hexeth.
Major concerns, but
Many do.
let's see how it play out. Let's see how it plays out. That is something that could be probably number one concern for Americans going forward.
Yeah. To your point, some Republicans even voted against them too.
Not enough. It's a lot we don't know, man. It's a lot that we never knew. Now it will be even far less than we knew, and that uncertainty. I mean, when you pick people who are not qualified, or and who don't give you an objective view of things, that's tyrant type of positioning.
I'm actually very, very fascinated about RFK Jr. because RFK and some of the things that he wants to do when it comes to health and food, um, um, to me, and I think for you, especially us three, being, trying to continue to be eating healthy and nutrition based and exercise, I agree with a lot of that. Like getting like certain foods out, like certain additives and certain things um, out of our foods. Sorry, Eric's on a text here. Um, certain things out of our foods. I think it's something that should be a priority. Eric, you back?
Yeah, back now.
Okay, cool. No, I think like for example, there's like red dye or additives, for example, in certain foods, like red 3, which I've been learning about the last couple of years. That's in Gatorade and all these foods. It's disgusting.
Ernest, look, I agree with you, and I think he have probably facts, truths about those things. But does he need to lead that?
He's the first person, certainly on this platform, I've seen that's talking about these things and getting removed from our nutrition.
But does he have to lead? Does he have to be that go-to person for health and human? What's the title again?
So what's again?
What's the title? Health and Human Services.
Yeah. The dude's in his 70s in phenomenal shape.
And Dad, think about it. If he's not the one doing it, right? Who else has been cool about kind of being that counter to all of these things that have been just allowed for God knows how long?
All I can say is we just have to hope for the best.
The government's crooked as hell, man. And I will say, I just hope this administration is very transparent about what they want to do. Like, I'm hoping the Trump administration is transparent. I'm hoping that you talk about wars. I don't know how you feel about Ukraine. I don't know enough about the Ukraine situation to really have a strong opinion on that. I don't want any boots on the ground. That's it right now for Ukraine. But what's been,
well, that's almost done at this point. So that's being wrapped up. So that's
but both that and Israel too also.
Yeah. That has run its course.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
It's giving the benefit of the doubt, and again, let's hope it's the best for America on a whole.
Well, I've always covered Trump. See, with me, and this is why people sometimes think I'm a supporter. I've always covered Trump fairly. Like if he does good, I'm gonna praise him, and if he does bad, I'm gonna rip him. And this is the problem. No one else doesn't call balls and strikes on either side.
Yeah, but maybe so. But remember, those who rips him, he comes back at them too. So that's what he does. He so that's part of his arsenal.
But he's always been that way, Dad. Always been that way, even for politics.
Ron Cohen, is it right? Follow that. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. He.
The one thing is the hypocrisy of using the government to, because specifically what he's going to do is the same thing he was saying that the government was doing to him in the previous administration, which is using the government. He's weaponizing the federal government, which I would bet money that he's going to do. It's just the hypocrisy that I hate. But,
of course.
I just stay away from the federal.
Dad, are you still shocked that Trump won? Because you were last on the podcast, you were very confident Kamala's going to win.
Yeah, I thought so.
We warned you.
Shocked? Yes, I was.
We warned you.
And you both did. Okay, and I get it. But just to show you where we are, I have so many concerns. I really do. That's another show.
Definitely.
I have a lot of concerns.
We got 4 years,
but again, if we could do this every week with
for real
the things that we see, what's going on, and maybe we should do that because this is the era of podcast. So let's get this thing going.
It's funny. It is era of podcast. I'm already 14 years in. I'm a veteran.
There you go.
I'm a veteran at this point now.
Exactly, but okay, you got to monetize it now. This is America. It's capitalism. Hey, by the way, capitalism is about to go crazy. Okay, so it's important to get your end of it.
Oh, hey, listen, I already said on record, like there's goods to this for him winning the election for me.
Well, you have to look at the silver lining. You
financially.
always, if you focus on the negative, it's going to be negative. You focus on the positive, it's going to be positive. No matter what, this is nothing new.
Especially my business.
Different.
Especially my business too, where I work at. It doesn't benefit to that. Consumer confidence is everything where I work at. And consumer confidence right now as of November 5th is through the roof. So
on the last note, I would say, who's guarding the Treasury? Keep an eye on that.
Who is the Secretary of Treasury? Or
it's just shifted already. You're talking about numbers, staggering numbers, the inner circle.
But they don't have a
staggering number.
Oh no, is it Linda McMahon? Yeah.
I thought Linda McMahon was education.
Education, that's indication. Sorry.
Yeah.
So who's Treasury then?
I think it's some Cantor Fitzgerald guy. I'm not sure.
Okay.
They approved him already?
I haven't.
I don't think so.
Kind of but I thought it was one of them where it was like, it was someone from Wall Street that I think he was bringing in.
They're still going. Through the confirmation now because Tulsi's coming up this week. Tulsi Gabbard's coming this week.
Yeah. I think it's an old Goldman Sachs person too, from a long time ago.
Very rich administration. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Almost like an oligarchy.
And they're gonna get richer, big time.
Almost like an oligarchy.
Yeah.
Almost.
Imagine that. Yeah.
Imagine that.
What do you think? What? Maybe you could term it a tech oligarch.
I'm just trying to become an oligarch.
I don't know, man. This everything. Look, I'm gonna say, and before I get out of here, like my attitude is the same. I'm not as like mad and like frustrated about all this because, Dad, to your point, 2016 when he won, he won, but he didn't win a popular vote. He didn't have the wins with him at the time. Okay, this is what the country wanted. And I've always said
what
this.
They want right now. This is why I say give the benefit of the doubt.
Right, and to me, and I love, and you and I know you and I definitely feel the same way. I love people more than politics. I just do. So if it's what you want, I'll have to give it a shot.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah, no choice.
That's where we are. This is America.
There's no point in you getting mad about it. You're not entitled to have your way all the time.
It's still the land of milk and honey.
Yeah.
Y'all got to go after that honey, baby.
That's right.
Can you just give me the satisfaction of saying that I was right? Or Ernest and I were right?
You were absolutely right, Eric. Ernest, you were absolutely right.
I feel validated now.
Yeah. Okay. It's my pleasure to say that.
All my life traumas have vanished now.
So now go use it to your advantage.
Hey, that's what we're here for.
So Dad is 0 for 2 now when he comes on the podcast for the election. 2016 also, he screwed up as well.
I can only get better at this point.
Yeah, well, he did the show with me the day before election 2016, and he was so confident he was going to win. So confident.
Yeah, well.
Oh, I thought Hillary was going to win too.
Oh, I did too, also as well. I think Chrissy actually is the one that said that she thinks Trump's going to win. Chrissy predicted Trump winning the night before.
I don't think much people saw that one coming either.
Yeah.
And if we really, again, pay close attention going forward, it would be very hard for Democrats to win a general election. Although most people are Democrats.
They have to clean their house, man. Their house is not clean. I mean, you think just Republicans vote for Trump in this election? Democrats went across the aisle too in this election too as well.
Yeah, I know.
They're frustrated.
But the question is, why did they? The economy was clearly showing signs of recovery, had recovered. It was leading the world in terms.
True, but Eric explained in the last podcast why that is the case. The numbers say so, but if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it.
Yeah.
That applies
they're not gonna feel that at the grocery store either. There's nothing anyone can do.
But that's what I'm saying.
Short term.
And that's what it matters for people who don't play the stock market, who don't invest in the market like that. They're not gonna understand that aspect.
They're not gonna understand. They're not gonna care.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Meanwhile, my paycheck's still the same, and I'm paying $7 for $7 for eggs and this and that, and that's all that matters to them. Sometimes it's always a simple thing.
Yeah.
Always.
It was a wrong time for the Democrats.
Yeah. And I don't.
Well, I
see
hope
them
also
back
that Trump engaged more mainstream people of color, and really, look at the quality of folks there are, and there are many, many, many,
right.
and don't
Oh,
marginalize.
that will be, I don't know if it has to be studied, but that's going to be that election campaign, and their strategy is going to be, talked about for a very long time. They did
Absolutely.
such a better job engaging.
Trump.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
I give him,
also no. Go ahead, Dad. Go ahead.
They have more charismatic candidates to begin with.
I give him just right away. I keep telling folks he's a master politician. He learned quickly,
Mhm.
so you got to give him that because he have created such a strong movement. That's what
Yeah.
master politicians do, and he's beyond that at this point.
Yep.
Come on, let's face it. Look what's going on. You got to pay close attention.
He's a 2-term president, Dad.
Hmm?
He's a 2-term
Wow.
president right now.
Yeah,
That's it.
and they
And did the hard way.
What's your
And
point?
did the hard way. And did the hard way. He lost the second time and came back and won again.
Right.
That's
4 years after, or
Yeah.
8 years after.
Yeah.
It says a lot.
Yep.
About the movement.
What did I say last month?
But can I end up by saying this? Let's take Kamala had won. You know what would have happened to this country within the next week or 2 or 3 after?
What?
Or even before inauguration?
What?
We never know. But I don't think it would have been.
You think it would have been as like what's 4 years ago, like January 6th again?
Worse.
I don't know because the only thing is that 4 years ago when that happened, Trump was still president, so he still had the control.
Let's leave it at that. Again, I humbly give the president the best. I hope for the best, but there's also a strong movement that has been there, never left, but has now raised its ugly head once more. And they believe, the MAGA people believe this is their country, and they're losing a bit of, let's say,
there's definitely some of that. There's definitely some of that, though. There's definitely some of that.
A lot of that.
But I think MAGA is a much more broader than people give credit for.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's much broader than people think. And some people could go in and out quite easily.
I think MAGA is a lot of folks. Yes, there's definitely racists in there too, also, but there's also a lot of populists there as well too. Those are people who are also what's the word, isolationists as well too. They want nothing to do with it.
Well, across the board.
Yeah,
the populists and the isolationists across the board.
In a lot of ways, MAGA is almost what America kind of is now, in general. Almost.
What do you mean?
Quite. It's more broad. It's not white evangelicals who are
everything has its what you gonna call it?
It's a broad coalition now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Which actually it's a good thing though, because at the end of the day, diversity of thought should still rule the day. Now, whatever the intents are for MAGA at top is a different story. But the people who are involved in the coalition, quite out loud, you have Elon Musk and Steve Bannon fighting each other right now.
No.
Let's see how that goes. That could be a smokescreen.
At least there's some counter thought within that whole coalition.
Remember, there's a lot of smoke screens. Right? You got to see through the curtain.
I agree. All right, let's leave some meat on the bone for the next one.
All right.
That's
good. Love you guys.
Good job, boys. Love you too, guys.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. Talk to you later.
All
right, bye.